When my son was younger, I used to hang up lists everywhere around the house. There was a list in the bathroom, so he knew what to do for his bathroom routine. There was a list in his room, a list in the kitchen. And you know what? Not one of those lists ever worked. And I want to explain why. The reason why lists or checklists don't work for the majority of kids with ADHD is because lists are not visual. So, the reason why kids with ADHD struggle with getting through daily routines is because they're not visualizing themselves doing the next upcoming task. And that is a result of difficulty with what's called nonverbal working memory, which is essentially how do you visualize yourself doing something in the future? My term I use for it is future thinking skills. So, what happens is when kids do not visualize what's coming up next, well, then they will just kind of sit there or they'll get distracted by something. And this is how kids become what we call prompt dependent, meaning you're always saying to them, put on your shoes, brush your teeth, do this, do that. But when kids are prompt dependent, the problem is they never learn to use their own executive function skills. So here's how you can change this. In order to help them move from prompt dependence towards independence, we have to make tasks visual for them. I'm not talking about those, boards you probably see on Pinterest where there's, pictures of different things they have to do. They have to see themselves doing the actual task in order to activate their nonverbal working memory. I teach this in Webinar 2 of Executive Function Crash Course, and what it does is it helps kids move from prompt dependence to independence. But the other piece of that you have to do is you have to shift the way you use language as well in order to help build what's called self-directed talk, or what I call brain coach with kids. So if you were like me and have hung up lists or checklists all around the house and your son or daughter hasn't used them, please understand it's probably not because they're trying to be oppositional or because they're choosing not to use them. It's because they don't work for them because they're not activating their nonverbal working memory. So if you want to help your son or daughter move from prompt dependence towards independence, you want to help them learn how to get through daily routines independently, you're going to want Webinar 2 of Executive Function Crash Course for Parents, which is part of the ADHD Dude membership site. Learn more at ADHDdudecourses.com.